Casper is transforming the way we sleep. Rest easy with free shipping and free returns, too. Just go to Casper.com and use code STU for $100 towards the purchase of select mattresses. That's Casper.com, promo code STU. Terms and conditions apply. See Casper.com/terms.
You're in charge of hiring, and Indeed has solutions, like online skills tests, which let a candidate show that they're the right hire. We'll also have a dolphin chatter excitedly in front of the perfect candidate. Okay, there's no dolphin. But skills tests, that's a for sure.
See why independent research by Silk Road shows Indeed delivers 3 times more hires than any other job site. Visit Indeed.com/promo today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting. Terms, conditions, and exclusions apply.
ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. I'm Davis Allen with your UWF Argos update. The Argos football team is gearing up for their first home game of the 2019 season. Coming in with a record of 1 win and 1 loss, they will be taking on the Virginia University of Lynchburg Dragons, who come in with a record of 0 wins and 3 losses. Kickoff at Blue Wahoo Stadium is scheduled for 6 o'clock. Will Kennedy will be live with the pregame show starting at 5:30, and all of it can be heard right here on ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. For the fans attending the game, parking lots and tailgating will open up at Community Maritime Park starting at noon. Box offices open at 3. The fan favorite Argo Walk will begin at 3:45, and fans can start entering Blue Wahoo Stadium starting at 4:30. I'm Davis Allen with your UWF Argos update for ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
You're listening to Pensacola's local and ESPN sports station. Your favorite ESPN radio shows, plus high school and UWF Argo football. ESPN Pensacola 1330.
Sergeant R.J. Anderson's dream was to take to the skies.
I've always wanted to be a soldier, but my ultimate goal was to be a pilot. I think I was meant to fly. I had just applied to be a part of the 160th SOAR Regiment, and I was going to airborne school that next Monday. So I decided to go on a motorcycle ride with my buddies. We were going through a turn, and that's all I remember. That's the day everything changed. I was told by the doctor that I would never walk again. Thanks to Paralyzed Veterans of America, competing in adaptive sports lit my fire again. They help you transition for the rest of your life to that individual that you want to be. Sports like hand cycling really pushes you to find who you are in that redefining moment after injury. With PVA Sports, I've found my freedom. Now when I think about my future, the possibilities are endless.
For more information, visit pva.org, a public service of Paralyzed Veterans of America.
ESPN Radio is taking over ESPN News. You can now watch your favorite radio shows all in one place. From Golic and Wingo. Oh, yeah! To the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz.
All right, I'm available every day, thanks.
To the Stephen A. Smith Show.
I just don't understand this guy.
To the Will Kane Show.
It's my job to tell the truth.
From morning to night, the best of ESPN Radio is now available on ESPN News.
Have you ever wondered if that review you're reading is from an actual customer? When you search for businesses at bbb.org, Better Business Bureau makes sure every review you see is from a real customer. For over 100 years, BBB has been connecting consumers to good businesses. So if you're looking for a good business, look for the seal. Start your search at bbb.org. Start with trust. bbb.org.
Friday nights in the fall are a magical time. It's Friday Night Lights, where new stars are born, where agony meets victory. ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM, and sister station News Radio 92.3 AM, 1620 brings you all play-by-play coverage during the week's best matchup. We are football. We are Friday Night Lights. This Friday night at 7, the Catholic Crusaders head to Pensacola High to take on the Tigers right here on ESPN Pensacola 1330, 99.1 FM.
Football season has arrived, and ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM 99.1 FM is where the action is. Bringing your high school football every Friday night, UWF football on Saturdays, and the NFL on Sundays. If you would like to partner with ESPN Pensacola as a sponsor or promotional partner, give us a call at 262-6000.
ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM 99.1 FM WEBY Milton, Pensacola.
The following has been produced by Talk Football LLC. Former Florida Gators quarterback, NFL quarterback, and NFL head coach. Coach K. Stevenson has a resume second to none, and now he's sharing his insider information with you. Talk Football with Coach K starts right now on ESPN Pensacola.
ESPN Pensacola 1330, 99.1 FM. Welcome into the program. Happy Football Friday. It's Talk Football with Coach K. Joe Ford and Coach K. Stevenson with you every weekday from noon until 1. And today's the big day, making all of our picks for the weekend ahead. And you can get in on the action as well. We have a contest going on right now. You can check out ESPN Pensacola, the Facebook page, and the top post on there. You will see a link that will take you to our website and make your picks. There's 4 college and 4 NFL games to make your picks from, and the winner gets a $25 gift certificate to Calvert's Florida State tickets. I'd like to congratulate Raymond Daniel Hill. He is the winner for this week's giveaway for Florida State football tickets. So, Raymond, congratulations to him. And I think he's planning on taking his father, if I'm not mistaken, to the game tomorrow against Louisville. So, again, congratulations to him. Again, we'll be giving away a pair of Florida State tickets every home game throughout the season. So keep listening and calling when you hear the Tomahawk chop to get registered to win. Coach, how are you today?
Doing well, Joe. Good to be here.
Absolutely, and it's a favorite weekday of the year, as it is for all of you. Chance to talk football and to make our picks throughout the day and cover everything going on in the world of college and professional football. By the way, high school football tonight will be out at Pensacola High School. Myself and Justin Patrick, the Catholic Crusaders, taking on Pensacola High, hoping for a good one there, and a lot going on. So,
we might just mention too, Joe, that next week people will be able to make their picks on our contest via email. They don't have to do. They can do both the Facebook as they're doing this week.
Yes.
And email as well.
Yes, we are getting that set up, so more details to come on that next week. So starting to give away some stuff, gift certificates, Florida State tickets every time there's a home game there. So keep listening. So let's get started, shall we? Lots of news and notes. Let's start, though, with a reaction to what we saw last night. Thursday Night Football, we had the Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans. And, Coach, my main takeaway is, that is the team that beat up and destroyed the Cleveland Browns back in Week 1? It's total Jekyll and Hyde with the Tennessee Titans.
Well, let me tell you, there was a great story that began, I think, last evening, maybe the week before. The week before, but it took on a bigger picture yesterday or last night. This Jacksonville football team, people are talking about, and I've heard the clowns on the show that come on just before us talking about what a poor football game it was and blah blah blah. It was a good football game in many ways. First, the Jacksonville Jaguars started playing like they did in 2017 defensively. They're a good defensive football team. I mean, an outstanding defensive football team. Can beat anybody. Now, you need to understand that. Anybody is anybody in the National Football League they can beat. You play Jacksonville, you get beat with that defense. Now, the other story that came out of that game is almost like a Hollywood movie. The quarterback, Minshew. If you really paid attention to his background and the road he's had to travel to get where he is and the circumstances that have allowed him to be in the position he was in last night and then to deliver big time delivery last night for Jacksonville. if he continues to grow and he can make plays in addition to being a sound quarterback back there, he's got the ability to make plays. This kid is something special. I'm telling you, there's something special about him. I'm not saying he's going to be a Tom Brady this year, but I am telling you that there's something that's a little magic there to go along with that great defense. People that count Jacksonville out or count them as a win, they've got another thing coming. Very revealing game last night, contrary to what a lot of people are saying. Their knowledge of football is so limited that they don't understand that that was a very interesting, revealing football game last evening.
Revealing for the Jaguars, yes. Now, that being said, we still have no idea what that defense will look like because Jalen Ramsey may not play another down for them, and that's a huge loss. Now, was it as revealing to you about Tennessee in that, you know, for they have games like they had in Week 1 against Cleveland, and then they go out and then they lose to the Colts, which, again, the Colts are a decent football team. I picked them to win last week, but it's because the Titans just always seem to do that. That is why I picked the Colts. I felt confident about that. So, I mean, were you able to glean anything away from the Titans in that, you know, maybe they just kind of have to start over? I mean, you know, Mariota's in the last year of his rookie contract. I think this is the extension year for him. So they're either committing to him long term or they're saying, hey, man, we just need to go another way. For the first half of that football game, it looked like it might be Ryan Tannehill time. And then, you know, in garbage time, Mariota was, you know, getting beat up. I think there was, 9 sacks yesterday. I just don't know what to make out of Tennessee.
Well, there are two or three things that the revealing about Tennessee. One is what I have thought probably was the case, and I think is becoming more and more obvious now. They need another quarterback. Mariota's not an NFL quarterback. He's a hybrid. Somewhere in there, he's a hybrid. Now, college, he's outstanding for a college quarterback, especially playing against lesser opponents most of the time. Makes him a very, very strong college quarterback. Not an NFL quarterback. He doesn't have enough. His delivery is elongated and slow. I think he has trouble making decisions on where he's going to go with the football, and I don't think he's particularly accurate with the football. He's just not an NFL quarterback. Now, that's obvious to me. I think they've got to go in another direction at some point, and I'm not saying it's Tannehill by any stretch, but they got to go in another direction with the quarterback. The other thing is, if you go back and look at that first game, I think Cleveland had 16 or 18 penalties in the ball game and played like trash. Mm-hmm. Just really laid an egg out there. So I think you got to give Cleveland credit for playing so poorly in that ball game. It'd be hard for any team with National Football League players not to win that game as bad as Cleveland played. So that's the way I see the game. Revealing with Tennessee to the extent that they're not, they're not as good a football team by any stretch as most of the people are going to play. They're in the lower echelon.
Another big piece of news that kind of came out this morning was more disappointing news about Antonio Brown. He played in the game last week against the Dolphins, caught a touchdown pass, was very active in the limited snaps that he played. Just reading this from ESPN, the lawyer for a woman who earlier this week alleged sexual misconduct by Antonio Brown has reached out to the NFL. This was last night after the Patriots wide receiver apparently sent what were described as threatening text messages to her client. This was first reported by Sports Illustrated. Had a chance to look at the text messages as they were posted everywhere on social media, and whether or not you think personally that they were threatening, I have my opinion on that. You probably have yours on it. The fact of the matter is that, again, it's just poor decision making again in terms of Antonio Brown. Again, not accusing him of anything. I'm not saying that he's guilty of anything, but he has shown just a pattern of poor decision-making. I think we can all agree on that, regardless of what you think about him. And, of course, the reporters are going to ask Bill Belichick about it. Now, for the most part, I enjoy and I appreciate the fact that Bill Belichick is he's a no-nonsense guy. He's not going to give away anything that he doesn't want to let out there. And, we all kind of love and appreciate that we're on to Cincinnati and everything like that. It is humorous at times. But today, Bill Belichick, after about 2.5, 3 minutes of his press conference today, in which the reporters were asking him about Antonio Brown, he just walked off. He edited it and walked off the field. And Coach, I know how high a regard that you hold Bill Belichick, and frankly, I mean, we all should as a football coach. He's the best coach that's ever lived. But I'm okay with you if you don't want to answer the Antonio Brown questions. I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is you throwing a fit and being upset and walking off the stage because you don't like the Antonio Brown questions. The only person in that room who's inviting this is you, Bill Belichick. If you don't want to answer, if you don't want the reporters to ask you Antonio Brown questions, then don't sign him. And again, he's not going to answer it, and that's perfectly okay with me. But don't get upset when you, as the head coach and the general manager, have brought this on yourself. Am I right on this?
Well, I can understand what you're saying, and any time that someone is less than forthright with you, it's somewhat disturbing. Okay, for anybody, and whether it be sports writers or any press trying to get a story. And I understand these people are paid to get a story, so they need to check every resource that they possibly can, which certainly starts with Belichick. But I would say that I think what he is wise to do is to not talk about this situation. It is totally up in the air. And if this guy has threatened those people, he needs to go. And I am certain that the National Football League will step in and he'll be gone. If that is the case, you cannot do that in our criminal justice system. Does not allow for that to happen at all, and serious repercussions are going to take place. Now, back to Belichick, I think what Belichick should have done, in my opinion, I think he did right by not saying anything about it. But I wish he had just said to them in a very monotone way, which he's going to do, fellas, I am not going to answer any questions. This is a club policy at this point. No one here in this building will answer any questions. We'll talk about this until the proper authorities have ruled as to what they're going to do, what it amounts to. And then if they continued to, he could say again, if you have other questions now, I will answer them, but I'm not going to say anything about this situation. Yeah. And if they continue, then walk off, fellas. You don't understand. So
if there's no other question, there's a right way and a wrong way.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, I'm okay with him not answering the questions because it's in a really tough spot. But to kind of walk off in a hissy fit because the reporters are trying to do their job and you're upset about that. I mean, well, Bill, this is something that you brought on and nobody else. This is what Bill said, quote, I know there are questions about Antonio. We take all the situations with our team very seriously. There are some things that we're looking into, but I'm not going to have any comment on any of the off-field situations or questions on that. Anything on football, I'm happy to answer. So kind of where we were this time a week ago is wondering whether the NFL would step in and place Antonio Brown on the commissioner's exempt list now with this new information. I in kind of reading and seeing different tweets from various people in the NFL, that at least sounds like more of a possibility now than it was a week ago. But I wonder if something would have to happen today, right? Because the team's traveling to, tomorrow, I would imagine.
Yeah, they would not allow him to travel. I wouldn't think. I have not read the tweets that he put out, and I will ask you: did they sound threatening to you, or were they more of a prevailing type?
There was nothing, and while we're on this topic, I probably should have had the text of the text messages up here. I apologize for not, but they were, to me, there was nothing in there that was threatening in terms of physical, or it's like, hey, I'm going to come after you, I'm going to do this. It was in a group message, one of whom was his attorney. So he sent out a group text with this woman who was in it and the attorney who was in it as well. One of the text messages where he made the comment to his attorney, hey, we need to investigate her. That may have been where the intimidation came from. A lot of it, honestly, was Antonio Brown just calling her poor, posting pictures of her kids from Instagram. So threatening, not in the way that, I'd say, hey, I'm going to do this to you. Intimidation, again, depending on who you are,
a sort
maybe.
Of bullying in a way.
That
kind
of thing, because you're posting pictures of her kids and saying, well, one of the things that he said was, obviously she's poor after posting a picture of her kids, and it's just like, why even, give people that?
Why go there?
So again,
but we're not talking about a Phi Beta Kappa, we Brown. He's we're talking about somebody who has some problems, and there's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But listen, I'll tell you, I think we're in agreement here. I wouldn't be surprised if the NFL steps in and takes him out of the picture sometime in the very near future, because this is not good. What does this come under? Conduct detrimental. And then they could step in and stop it.
So we'll see if that happens. So, again, I would think that if the NFL was going to step in and do something, it would probably be today. So we'll certainly keep tabs on that situation. Again, Antonio Brown, just questionable decision-making at best there. We'll take a timeout, come back, make our picks for the NFL Week 3 game Sunday afternoon. It's going to be a busy one. Biggest game on the schedule this Sunday, the Chiefs and the Ravens. One defensive coordinator saying that Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes could be what Peyton and Tom Brady were for the AFC for so long. We'll talk about that more as well. Talk football with Coach K, ESPN Pensacola 1330, 99.1 FM.
I'm attorney Stephen Luongo with Levin, Papantonio, Thomas, Mitchell, Rafferty, and Proctor in Pensacola, Florida. Distracted driving is a dangerous epidemic on America's roadways. In 2016 alone, over 3,000 people were killed in motor vehicle crashes involving distracted drivers. This according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. For more information, please visit us today online at levinlaw.com. Please be safe on the roadways. Stop the text, stop the wrecks.
When you're looking for a great deal on a reliable new or certified pre-owned vehicle, you can't beat Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola. Bob Tyler Toyota has the best selection in town at incredible low prices. You can check out their amazing inventory from Camrys to Tundra trucks to 4Runners. It's all at Bob Tyler Toyota, and you can find it online at bobtylertoyota.com. Also score a touchdown this football season with the car of your dreams. Again, it's only at Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola.
Don't drop the ball this football season. Make Tom Thumb your game day destination. We are your first round pick for snacks, chips, dips, and drinks. Are you tailgating before the game? Don't get blindsided. Head to Tom Thumb for all your supplies. Score big savings with our rewards card. You'll earn 4 fuel points for every $1 spent in store. From hot dogs and buns to ice and propane, Tom Thumb has you covered to help you enjoy the game. For the ultimate game day, team up with Tom Thumb, the local store for local champions.
Hello, sports fans. Miles Bentley here, General Manager at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Pensacola. Growing up, I always loved sports. Nothing but net, out of the park. through the uprights. Sink the puck, Bentley. That was me. But my love of the game couldn't beat my love for Pensacola and helping folks get on the road of dreams in a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Sure, I never went to the big leagues in sport, but we're all pro here at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Proud to be in Pensacola.
Sometimes your bank, your family, and your friends love you, but they don't have the money to help you. Sometimes we have chances to make money, but the old saying, you've got to have money to make money, rings true. At Pensacola Specialty Pond, we can help. If you have trucks, heavy equipment, airplanes, boats, jet skis, anything with value, Pensacola Specialty Pond can loan you that short-term money you need. No credit checks, and at Pensacola Specialty Pond, you're going to find the money and the discretion you need.
Now at 6428 Pensacola Boulevard, north of Car City. Call 432-9050, 432-9050.
Sometimes for inspiration, you just have to look up. For more than 60 years, the Goodyear blimp has fueled greatness on the gridiron by providing aerial coverage of some of the most legendary moments in college football history. When the Goodyear blimp rises above a stadium, it inspires players to reach higher and rise to the challenge of the game's biggest moments. Now it's your turn to go further with Goodyear. Discover tires made to rise above the rest. Learn more at Goodyear.com. Goodyear, more driven.
The Paul Feinbaum Show.
Everything you wanted to happen hasn't happened.
Oh, my gosh. That's all any of y'all want to talk about is Alabama.
You're really not understanding the conversation, but anyway, we can move on.
Alabama's dynasty has just begun.
Hold on a second, Charles. Somebody wants to talk to you.
I don't want to talk that compelling moron. He's nothing but a lame-headed old man.
2 till 5 every weekday afternoon. ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
You're out of your freaking mind, cowturd.
You're listening to Pensacola's local and ESPN sports station, your favorite ESPN radio shows, plus high school and UWF Argo football. ESPN Pensacola 1330.
Talk football with Coach K. Happy Football Friday. Favorite time of the week. Got the music playing. It's time to make our picks for week 3 of the NFL football season. High school football tonight, Catholic and Pensacola High, and we'll pick college games in a little bit. Coach, let's get rolling, shall we? The noon games on Sunday. We'll start with the biggest spread, actually the second biggest spread of this week. The New York Jets 0-2 down to their third-string quarterback are in Foxborough taking on the Patriots. Coach, the Patriots are favored by 22 points at home.
Yeah, well, I don't think we need to say too much about this game. I think we're all on the same page, and the Patriots should win it and cover. So it's just bad luck for the Jets.
C.J. Mosley, Quinnen Williams are still hurt. Keep them out of the game.
Yeah.
I ought to be honest with you. I may even hold out Le'Veon Bell, and like anybody who is a star on that team, they have the bye next week. Get him healthy and just kind of start over 0-3. Hopefully Sam Darnold is back in week 5. But yeah, Patriots win and they cover. Jets just aren't going to be able to move the football. Bengals and the Bills. This one should be pretty close. The Bills going home for the first time this season, 2-0. The Bengals 0-2. Coach, the Buffalo Bills are favored by 6 at home.
Well, let me tell you, I'm a little familiar with that situation up there. That place will be rocking at 2-0, 2 wins, no losses, coming home, first ball game at home. It'll be akin to Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge. Around there, people tailgating from Thursday on. Anyway, long story short, Buffalo, there'll be such a momentum. They will. They're going to be ready to play. Believe me, without going too far overboard. Buffalo will win it and cover.
I'm going to take the Bills to win this game, although I will give the points here. I think the Bengals will lose this game, but I think it's a closer game than 6 points. The Bengals got shellacked last week. I think they've shown week 1 against Seattle that they are a better team. They probably are still going to finish last in their division, but I think that the Bengals will be able to keep this one a bit closer. I will take the Bengals in the points, but the Bills will move to 3-0. 23-point spread at home, the Dallas Cowboys and the Miami Dolphins.
Well, of course, it's in Dallas.
It is.
And 23 points is just an unbelievable number to give in the National Football League. But it's this is one of the most unbelievable seasons for a football team.
Yeah.
Dolphins in particular is what I'm talking about. So I think Dallas wins it, and they're going to go ahead and let the dogs run. So they'll cover.
Yeah, Kellen Moore saying no snap count for Ezekiel Elliott, so he's going to eat a lot. Dak Prescott's looked really good through 2 weeks. I think, Kellen Moore has that offense churning. I do not see the Dolphins, much like the Jets, being able to move the football. There's no Minkah Fitzpatrick, so the secondary is going to have problems. I'm picking the Cowboys to cover this one as well. In Lambeau Field, the Green Bay Packers 2-0 against the Broncos 0-2. Coach, this one's a 7.5-point favorite for Green Bay.
Well, we got some huge point spreads in here.
Yeah.
I think Green Bay at home is going to win this ball game, but here, I think I would take the Broncos and the points with Green Bay winning the game. 7.5 now. Once you get a half point over a touchdown and an extra point, that's almost like another. That's like another 3 points, like 10 points.
I'm with you on that. I will think that the Packers will win, but the Broncos will cover there. The Falcons are an underdog on the road in Indianapolis. The Colts are favored by 1.5 points. Coach, I think the Falcons have such a huge opportunity to really take control of the NFC South. There's no Drew Brees. The Panthers are in limbo. The Buccaneers may be better than they've shown. But this is a Falcons division to lose, and I think they take advantage of this one. I'm picking the Falcons straight up here on the road.
Yeah, it's. I agree with you. It's a quarterback versus quarterback here. We need to get down to all the decision-making points, the coaching, the defense, how they play, quarterbacks, and my goodness, Atlanta's got a little problem defensively. They look better, so I'm taking Atlanta too, and they will cover.
One thing I'm not a fan of West Coast teams coming east to play in the noon window. The Oakland Raiders are playing in Minnesota. The Vikings are favored by 9.5 points. That's a bit too high for me. I'm picking the Raiders to cover there.
Wow. I think Minnesota's going to win this ball game and win it handily. I'm going to take Minnesota to win and cover.
The Detroit Lions traveled to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. The Eagles are going to be without a couple of big playmakers at wide receiver. No Deshaun Jackson, and Alshon Jeffrey is also out for a couple of weeks as well. The Eagles are favored by 6 points here. Coach Matt Patricia's a defensive guy. I think that the Eagles win, but I think this is closer than 6. I'll take the Lions in the points.
I agree with you. I'll take Philadelphia wins, but Lions cover the points.
Last game of the noon window here, and it's the biggest one of the noon window. The Baltimore Ravens traveling to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. Coach, the Chiefs are a 5.5-point favorite.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Chiefs and Chiefs cover.
I'm going to take the Ravens. I'm going to take the Ravens to win. Here's why. I think the Ravens are a better team than they were last year. And late in the season, the Baltimore Ravens traveled to Kansas City, and if it wasn't for a pretty miraculous fourth down conversion from Patrick Mahomes to Tyreek Hill, the Ravens win the game. I'm a believer in Lamar Jackson. I don't think he's going to play as well as he has through the first couple of weeks of the season, but I don't think this is the week for a drop-off. I think Baltimore has the better defense, and their offense is good enough to keep up with Kansas City. I'm going to pick the Ravens here. The 3 o'clock games, the Carolina Panthers without Cam Newton. It'll be the Kyle Allen show traveling to Arizona. Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury, a good opportunity for them to get their first win of the season. They're favored by 1.5 points.
I almost feel like that I want to take Arizona. So I've got the gut feel there. I'm going to take them in this ball game.
I'm going to pick them as well. Home team, Kyler Murray, who's looked pretty decent there. I have to think that one of these days they're going to score enough points to get it done, and I just don't know how the Panthers will score enough in this one with Cam Newton on the sideline there. I'm picking the Cardinals to win. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are favored by 6 points at home against the New York Giants. It's the debut for Daniel Jones.
Yeah, and I think they're gonna. I think this is going to be an interesting ball game. I think Tampa will probably win it at home, but I'm going to take the Giants to cover with points here.
That's tough. Yeah, I think I'm with you there. You know what? No, I'm picking the Buccaneers to cover. The Giants' pass defense is putrid, and you've got Chris Godwin and Mike Evans to throw to. I think this is a Jameis game where he puts it all together. I'm going to pick the Buccaneers to win by at least a touchdown here.
The only thing I think there, just another comment on that game, is Jameis Winston, you can't. He's like the wild wind. You don't know where he's going to blow.
You don't know.
And he could lay an
This
egg out there.
matchup is set up for him, though.
And Daniel Jones, listen, that whole football team will get together. So we got to do whatever we got to do to cover for this kid to play. All right. So defensively, they'll step up, and this is a game where they could get some turnovers. They could make some things happen. I really think that they're at a disadvantage in playing in Tampa Bay, but I think they play well enough to cover, make it a tight ball game.
The Houston Texans traveling to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers, pair of 1-1 teams. Coach, this line's a 3-point favorite for the Chargers at home.
I like the Chargers at home. They're period cover easily.
The Chargers always are in these games where it's down to the last series, and this is tough. I'm going to pick the Texans to cover here. They may not win, but I think this is a 1 or 2 point game. The Texans haven't shown a whole lot, especially last week. It was a pretty bad performance there. Deshaun Watson, though, late in ball games, I like him slightly more than I like the Chargers, so I'll take Deshaun and the Texans here. The Pittsburgh Steelers traveling out west. The San Francisco 49ers 2-0, the Steelers 0-2. Coach, no Ben Roethlisberger. It's the Mason Rudolph show. The 49ers are favored by 6.5.
49ers win it and cover.
I will agree with you there. Easy enough. The New Orleans Saints also traveling out west. The Seattle Seahawks, big home field advantage there. No Drew Brees. It may be Teddy Bridgewater. It may be a little bit of both with Taysom Hill there. Seahawks, though, have the home field advantage, and it's a 4-point spread.
Yeah, unfortunately, and I hate to ever pick them, but unfortunately, I think the Seahawks will win it and cover.
I'm going to pick the Seahawks to win and cover as well. Finally, Coach, the Sunday night game in Cleveland. Browns in prime time for the second week in a row. Got the job done against the New York Jets. Probably a bit tougher challenge this go-around. The Los Angeles Rams traveling to Cleveland. Sunday Night Football on NBC. The Rams are favored by 3.
Well, common sense and most people would obviously pick the Rams and give up the points there. And Cleveland has not really stepped up to the table yet and played the way that everybody thought they were going to play. They're going to play better at some point, much better. At home, primetime game against the Rams. I'm going to go with an upset here, Browns upset.
Okay, I like it. I like the pick. I don't like it necessarily enough to agree with you, but I think that the Rams will get the job done here on the road. Offense is just too tough to stop, and you take away one thing, they can hit you in so many different ways. The Browns are going to have problems on the offensive line with Aaron Donald. So I'm going to pick the Rams to win and cover on the road. So we'll see how we do this week. Good stuff there, Coach. We'll be back in just a moment, and a lot more to get to. College football picks coming up in a moment. Talk football with Coach K, ESPN Pensacola 1330, 99.1 FM.
I'm attorney Stephen Luongo with Levin, Papantonio, Thomas, Mitchell, Rafferty, and Proctor in Pensacola, Florida. Distracted driving is a dangerous epidemic on America's roadways. In 2016 alone, over 3,000 people were killed in motor vehicle crashes involving distracted drivers. This according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. For more information, please visit us today online at levinlaw.com. Please be safe on the roadways. Stop the text, stop the wrecks.
When you're looking for a great deal on a reliable new or certified pre-owned vehicle, you can't beat Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola. Bob Tyler Toyota has the best selection in town at incredible low prices. You can check out their amazing inventory from Camrys to Tundra trucks to 4Runners. It's all at Bob Tyler Toyota, and you can find it online at bobtylertoyota.com. Also score a touchdown this football season with the car of your dreams. Again, it's only at Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola.
Don't drop the ball this football season. Make Tom Thumb your game day destination. We are your first round pick for snacks, chips, dips, and drinks. Are you tailgating before the game? Don't get blindsided. Head to Tom Thumb for all your supplies. Score big savings with our rewards card. You'll earn 4 fuel points for every $1 spent in store. From hot dogs and buns to ice and propane, Tom Thumb has you covered to help you enjoy the game. For the ultimate game day, team up with Tom Thumb, the local store for local champions.
Hello, sports fans. Miles Bentley here, General Manager at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Pensacola. Growing up, I always loved sports. Nothing but net, out of the park, through the uprights. Sink the puck Bentley, that was me. But my love of the game couldn't beat my love for Pensacola and helping folks get on the road of dreams in a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Sure, I never went to the big leagues in sport, but we're all pro here at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Proud to be in Pensacola.
Today, business happens here, and virtually anywhere. Because today, innovative companies are reinventing the way business happens. And they need people who can keep up, with the expertise and technology to get packages to over 150 million delivery points. So, who can help you deliver the future of commerce? The United States Postal Service. See why we deliver more e-commerce packages to homes than anyone at USPS.com/future.
Hello, everybody. You're looking live at Fansville, a college football utopia.
Fansville.
Where the rivers flow with ice-cold Dr. Pepper.
Delicious.
Where every day is Saturday and everyone's a fan, even babies.
Fan babies.
And the seasons never change because the only season is college football season. Get a taste of Fansville this fall during a college football game near you. Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville. Grab some today.
You're listening to Pensacola's local and ESPN sports station. Your favorite ESPN radio shows, plus high school and UWF Argo football. ESPN Pensacola 1330.
ESPN Pensacola 1330 99.1 FM. Joe Ford and Coach K with you. You're listening to Talk Football with Coach K every weekday from noon until 1. High school football tonight. Catholic against Pensacola High at 7 o'clock. You can hear that one right here and on our sister station, News Radio 92.3 AM 1620. Now, Coach, let's get started here. Week number 4 of college football. A lot of good games, and it all starts tonight. We have one out west, out in Los Angeles. USC, Coach, 2-1 on the season. 10th ranked Utah is favored by 3.5 points on the road.
Maybe a little sentimental here. I'm going to say Southern Cal comes back and wins this ball game at home. It's a huge game for them. It's a big win. It'll help Helton if they do. I hope they win it.
Yeah, it will for sure. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think 10th ranked Utah, too much talent, a lot of good depth there. Seen them a couple times this year. They are justifiably ranked in the top 10. I think Utah wins and covers. I don't think it's going to be ugly, but I do think that Utah will win at USC. Another game tonight at 8 o'clock. This one's on ESPN2. Boise State, 20th in the country, taking on Air Force, who's also 2-0. Coach, the line is Boise State 7, getting 7 here, a home favorite. But those pesky service academies always seem to make things a little bit closer than you want.
Well, they do. And keep in mind, the Air Force Academy and Boise State aren't that far apart out there in that in those mountain states. So I think I'm going to have to take Boise State though to win and to cover here. Any other year or many other years, you take Air Force with that many points.
Looking at the Saturday game starting in the 11 o'clock window here, number 2 Alabama, not much concern about whether or not they'll win, but will they cover here? The spread is 38.5 points against Southern Miss, coming in at 2-1.
You know, years ago, and years ago, they're not today, but Southern Mississippi used to give Alabama all they could have them. That's a great game. In fact, they beat them a couple of years up there. That won't happen this year. Alabama will win it, and I'm going to say Alabama covers.
9 Florida hosting Tennessee, 11 o'clock on ESPN. Florida favored by 14 points at home. Coach, quarterback making his debut as a starter. Will Tennessee keep it closer than that?
Yes. Yeah, I think Florida is going to win the ball game, but I think Tennessee's going to make it a lot closer than people think. And in fact, it's going to scare some people, and could end up winning the ball game. So, but you got to look at all the circumstances surrounding this game, and Tennessee will get better, just like they did last year. As the season progresses, they're going to get better and better. I think they come play Florida one heck of a ball game.
I'm going to pick Florida to cover, not because I think that they are a dominant force to be reckoned with. I just think Tennessee is that bad. I'll take Florida to cover here. 23rd ranked California heading to Oxford to take on Ole Miss. Coach, this is probably going to be one of the better games in the 11 o'clock window here. Ole Miss favored by 3 at home over the Bears.
I'm going to take California.
I agree.
On this, I think California will come in with a better overall football team than Mississippi can put on the field.
I agree. I'm picking California to win this one as well. At 2:30, the first of 2 games on CBS tomorrow. 8th-ranked Auburn is in College Station to take on Texas A&M. Coach, this is a 3.5-point spread in favor of Texas A&M at home.
Yeah, I knew this was going to come down to being Texas A&M favorite. I really felt that. I think Texas A&M is going to win this football game, and I think they're going to cover. I think they've had this one circled since the first day of fall practice. So I think they're ready for them at home, and it's going to be a tough trip for Auburn.
I agree. Auburn's defense is going to keep this one close. It's certainly not going to be a blowout, I don't think. I would not even assume that it would be. Bo Nix going on the road for his first true road start. You could probably pick better places to do it than at Kyle Field. Crowd's going to be raring to go there, so I'm going to pick Texas A&M as the home team to cover their 3.5-point spread at home again. I will pick Texas A&M here. Other SEC games in the afternoon: Kentucky 2-1 taking on Mississippi State. Same record there, 2-1. Mississippi State favored by 6.5 points at home.
I think maybe Mississippi State pulls this out, but I don't think they'll cover. I think Kentucky will play it, make it a close ball game.
I'm with you on that. Kentucky, I think, will cover there. I'm picking Kentucky to cover on the road, but Mississippi State to win. Another top 25 game: Michigan taking on Wisconsin at Madison. Wisconsin favored by 3.5 points. Coach, I'm on the Badgers all day, every day.
Well, I really have to jump that same bandwagon. I like Wisconsin. Liked them last year. I thought they were going to finish much higher last year, but they're big, strong, road graders up front, and they've got a great running game, and they are going to control the football. And Camp Randall can be a pretty intimidating place to play. So I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to take Wisconsin down to cover.
Oregon, 16th ranked team in the country, taking on Stanford on the road. Oregon favored by 10.5 points here. That's a 6 o'clock start time over on ESPN.
Okay, I think 10.5 is too much, especially on the road in that conference. Got to take Stanford to cover the points, even though I think Oregon will win the football game.
Tomorrow afternoon, 2:30 start time on ESPN. Florida State taking on Louisville. Florida State favored by 6.5 points over the Cardinals. 2-1 looked better than we thought they might on during the Notre Dame game, but still 6.5 points for me, based on what I've seen out of Florida State this year, may be a bit too much. Coach, what do you think about the spread here in Florida State at home?
Well, I think unfortunately for Florida State, I think Louisville's going to come in and probably win the football game. So they'll certainly beat any spread if they come in and win the ball game.
I'm going to take Florida State to win, although I will give the points here. I think Louisville will keep it closer than that. I just haven't seen Florida State play a full four-quarter game, and that's really what it comes down to. So I'm taking Louisville in the points, although I do think Florida State will win. And the game that everybody's going to be watching, 7 o'clock start time on CBS. Notre Dame, number 7 team in the country, taking on number 3 Georgia. Coach, the Bulldogs favored by 14.5.
Wow, a lot of points. But I tell you what, I think Georgia is that much better overall. I'm going to take Georgia at home to win and to cover. And I'll tell you, Notre Dame has not played a game with the same atmosphere as they will between the hedges there in Athens in a night ball game with 92,000 people in the stadium and probably the same amount, 92 outside, just outside the stadium. So it's going to be one heck of a carnival atmosphere, and I think Georgia wins it going away.
It is, and because of that atmosphere, the fact that everybody's going to be watching, teams play up. They play better than they are on paper. So I think Notre Dame is going to keep this one close throughout. I don't see this being anything more than maybe 6 to 8, 9 points. I think Georgia's going to win, but I'm going to take Notre Dame in the points. I think they'll keep it closer than 14.5 points, but Georgia will win the football game. So there's a look at all the top games from around college football. What a week it is. You've got 3 headliner games, really, and all at different times in the window. You've got Michigan, Wisconsin at 11, followed by Auburn, Texas A&M at 2:30, and then, of course, Georgia and Notre Dame, the nightcap there. We'll take our final timeout, come back, more headlines from around college football and the NFL, and our keys to victory for some of the top games of the weekend. Stay tuned.
I'm attorney Stephen Luongo with Levin, Papantonio, Thomas, Mitchell, Rafferty, and Proctor in Pensacola, Florida. Distracted driving is a dangerous epidemic on America's roadways. In 2016 alone, over 3,000 people were killed in motor vehicle crashes involving distracted drivers. This according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. For more information, please visit us today online at levinlaw.com. Please be safe on the roadways. Stop the text, stop the wrecks.
When you're looking for a great deal on a reliable new or certified pre-owned vehicle, you can't beat Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola. Bob Tyler Toyota has the best selection in town at incredible low prices. You can check out their amazing inventory from Camrys to Tundra trucks to 4Runners. It's all at Bob Tyler Toyota, and you can find it online at bobtylertoyota.com. Also score a touchdown this football season with the car of your dreams. Again, it's only at Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola.
Dude, it's game day, and I'm fired up that football is back.
I know, but I'm bummed they don't show my favorite team on TV around here.
All right, well, what about that place Calvert's? They're a really cool English pub-style restaurant, and they have a really good drink menu.
Yeah, but what about the game?
Don't worry, they have the NFL Sunday ticket and plenty of TVs, so we can watch any game that we want.
Ooh, I just looked at the menu, and that Abbey Road burger is calling my name.
Calvert's in the Heights Restaurant and Bar, 3102 East Cervantes Street, calvertsintheheights.com.
There's only one place in town for the lowest prices and greatest selection of firearms. Pensacola Indoor Shooting Range. Visit our fully stocked Gun Pro Shop for new and used firearms, accessories, and ammunition. Check out the Indoor Shooting Range. We offer rentals on guns, including fully automatic machine guns and silencers. Ladies, this is the safe place to learn how to use a gun. Plus, Tuesday is Ladies' Day. Women shoot for half price all day. The best place to buy firearms in Pensacola. Pensacola Indoor Shooting Range, Highway 29 in Car City.
Geico presents Yikes, another voicemail from your roommate.
Sup, roomie? Hey, a pipe burst in the basement. It's completely flooded. Anyway, I called for someone to fix it, but in the meantime, I was thinking we could finally have that indoor pool party we've always wanted. I got some cool swan floaty things already going. Could you pick up some chips on your way home? Later.
The Geico Insurance Agency could help keep your personal property protected, like if your roommate isn't the brightest pool float in the flooded basement. Visit geico.com to see how easy it is to switch and save on renter's insurance.
Now's the time to travel and be with the people you care about the most. And at Holiday Inn and Holiday Inn Express, we're helping you be there for less. Save at least 25% at thousands of hotels worldwide if you book by September 24th. You won't want this moment to pass you by. So book today at holidayinn.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Talk football every day with Pensacola's own Coach K.
The key on offense is going to be whether Franks can come back and duplicate what he did in the last 4 games.
Every weekday, noon till 1 on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 FM 99.1.
ESPN Pensacola is your home to UWF Argos football. Catch every game, home or away, on Pensacola's home for local sports. ESPN Pensacola 1330 FM 99.1.
You're listening to Pensacola's local and ESPN sports station. Your favorite ESPN radio shows, plus high school and UWF Argo football. ESPN Pensacola 1330.
ESPN Pensacola 1330, 99.1 FM. Talk football with Coach K. Happy Friday. Finally made it through another work week and get a long list of football games to enjoy this weekend. Hope you're looking forward to it. And if you're not looking forward to watching football, hope you have a good weekend anyway. Joe Ford, Coach K with you. Again, want to congratulate our 2 winners of the Florida State ticket giveaway here. Raymond Hill and then Charles Ridings, the winners this week on Talk Football with Coach K and the Sports Drive. So congratulations to you guys. Hope you enjoy the Florida State-Louisville game tomorrow afternoon. Coach, if I asked you, and again, I would never do this to you really, but if I mandated, I said, Coach, look, I know it's a great weekend for college football, but if your wife said you are allowed to watch 3 games this weekend, that's college and pro, only 3. You only get to choose 3. What 3 games would you choose this weekend?
Oh, you're off in the realm of impossibility now. That could never happen.
I know. I just want to know, based on all the games that we're talking about. I mean, because it's jam packed. But the 3 games that are for you the must watch, if that's the only 3 things you get to watch.
Well, in college football, I'd probably want to watch Georgia, Notre Dame, and then the other 2 would be pro football.
Okay.
And I know they're not playing anybody, but I'm doing a study of interest to me and probably me only. And I'm doing a study of modern-day pro football, and it's through the New England Patriots.
Okay.
I love watching them play. I don't care who they play or whatever, so I would probably watch New England play. And then a game of interest maybe Kansas City and Baltimore.
Yeah, 2 of those I would have. I would have certainly the Georgia Notre Dame and then the Baltimore Kansas City. For the 3rd one, I'm really intrigued to see how Bo Nix does in his first road start against Texas A&M. So, for a lot of us, may be different there. Maybe Florida, Tennessee, if you're a Florida fan. But if there was only 3 games that I could watch this weekend, those would be the 3 for me. But the good news is that we don't have that problem.
Yeah, we don't have that. I can assure you we don't have that problem. It's interesting, too, with some games this weekend. By the way, we need to tell our people, we will announce on Monday the winners of our contest on picking the games, and we'll have a new
list of games.
New list of games next week. We'll also have the email available to them. Now, of interest, there are a couple of games that have certain possibilities, problems, if you will, for coaches if they lose. It's going to really crank up the hype about them not being there anymore. And one, as we know, is Auburn. If they lose and lose big time out of Texas A&M, there's already been a lot of talk. And in case people don't know, there are ways to get to coaches without going directly to them. And a coach can say, "I have not talked to him."
Are you referring to the Bob Stoops?
Bob
rumors?
Stoops.
Yeah.
Bob Stoops. I have not talked to him. He can say that, but his agent may have, and he's talked to his agent.
Yeah.
And I would not talk to a team that still has a coach. Doesn't mean that his agent can't.
That's right.
But it means he wouldn't. Okay, so he's telling the truth. Now, there's more than Bob Stoops. There'll be more than Bob Stoops involved if that is the case. But, sometimes the word like that is not all fantasy. It's there's something going on. Now, the other one that we've got to be at least aware of, there are a couple. There's the Tennessee situation, which I think is much too premature to be talking about. Even though they're so mired in the coach changeover type atmosphere there that it's just if you don't give us what we want, we're gonna change coaches. And then there's some things. Obviously, we've got the Southern Cal. There are a lot of things that could come out of some of these games this weekend, and it's unfortunate, but it's true. And I hate to see it, but we really need to keep an eye on it because it's going to happen. What would happen? You would know as well as anybody what would happen. For example, if Wisconsin really puts a duster on Michigan up there, the Harbaugh.
Especially given how Michigan's looked the past two times that they've played against teams in the top 15.
Yeah.
Ohio State and Florida last year.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, we got to be aware of those things that are behind the scenes that could be happening big time starting this week after these ball games.
And the other big storyline is you have now, I want to say, 3 teams who are playing new quarterbacks starting this week in the NFL. You have the Giants and Daniel Jones. The Saints, how will they look? How will their offense look without Drew Brees for a full game? The Saints aren't saying really who the starting quarterback will be, although I would be shocked if we don't see a good dose of both Teddy Bridgewater and Taysom Hill. I mean, Hill was on the field all the time, even when Brees was there. So he'll play a lot. And then Cam Newton not playing for Carolina. It'll be Kyle Allen showing up there. So, a lot of teams in pretty yucky quarterback situations there. So, quality of the games, how will, because, we were commenting earlier about, some of the bigger spreads that we were seeing. So, the quality of the NFL is usually pretty good, especially when you have the quarterbacks who are supposed to be on the field. But, for a lot of teams, they're not going to have that luxury this weekend.
Yeah, but then you get the flip side. You get a Minshew with Jacksonville, who has captured a lot of audience out there. I mean, just amazing. I know people have already been commenting to me about how they've gone back and resurrected his story from how he went from, had no out of high school, went to state championship twice, has no offers to college, ends up in a college, in a junior college. And offered to go to Alabama to back up, and he goes to Washington State and so on.
Quick question, Coach, gut feeling. By the time we come back Monday, is Jalen Ramsey still a Jaguar?
Yeah, I would say yes.
All right. Well, hey, you enjoy your football weekend, Coach. We'll look forward to being back here on Monday ready to break down everything that we saw. We're looking forward to it. Have a good weekend, everyone. Thanks for listening. Talk football with Coach K, ESPN Pensacola 1330.
Football season has arrived, and ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM 99.1 FM is where the action is. Bringing your high school football every Friday night, UWF football on Saturdays, and the NFL on Sundays. If you would like to partner with ESPN Pensacola as a sponsor or promotional partner, give us a call